I'm this far from the mic.
And I'm this far from the mic.
And together we are
These fars from the mic.
Hey everybody, welcome to a whole new series of Digi Bros.
Holy shit.
Splatoon!
It's been like a year since we did a new... Is it already broke? There we go. Oh, look at the squids.
Squids.
This is a game about squids.
I'm a kid.
It's a game all about squids and kids. There's two squids, there's several kids, and there's several squids.
Best squid 2015.
We're squids and we're kids and we're in the game. We're playing the game.
Yes, it's just called Two Squids.
It's just called Two Squids.
So, yeah, we finished Dark Souls. It felt like it would never happen.
Can I turn it like just a little bit up?
Turn it up to like 5.
Yeah, we've had to have had like 30 hours on that game, right?
It's already... What, on Dark Souls?
Yeah.
I
At
think
least
it was,
20 hours.
Yeah, probably more.
Holy shit.
It took us a long
motherfuckers
time.
watched 20 hours of Dark Souls.
Well, because the thing about Dark Souls in comparison... Because the Dark Souls playthrough was ultimately shorter than the Zelda one, but we recorded it over a much longer period of time. So for us, it felt like fucking forever. Mm-hmm. What are you like?
I'm trying to find it because I've already played some of the story mode in this game, and I
Yes.
want to show off story mode, but I don't know how to restart.
You can just go to the levels and play them again. Like,
Yeah, but that makes it kind of lame.
If you, I mean, it's up to you, dog. Like, I don't know how
Fine,
that makes it lame
I'll just
or
go
not.
through level by level.
By the way,
it just seems tedious.
I
for some
raised the
reason.
camera speed because you guys had it like super low, and I didn't think you could realize that you could change it.
No, I did.
Oh.
You turn it up and it becomes a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, if you have it at maximum,
this game
it's
is
a nightmare.
very sensitive.
But you had it like really low. So yeah, it's Splatoon. It's a fun game where you're a squid girl.
I'm a
And
squid.
you're insanely adorable.
It looks like shit on this. This TV is horrible.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it looks better in the stream, but this TV we play on in Connor's room, it really fucking
It's because
sucks
Shane
ass.
stole my
It
TV
is so
and gave
bad.
me his shitty one.
It looks just completely awful.
Alright.
I don't remember how to play this game.
You should maybe turn it down
That's a
again because you
grenade.
turned it up a little too far.
Nah, man.
I can hear it. It's gonna pick up by the microphone.
Okay, hold on. I gotta kill these dudes on things.
It doesn't look that bad. It's bright. Everything's very bright.
Yeah, but it looks
extremely vibrant.
If you saw this in my room, it would look so much better. Whatever.
So the idea of this game is that you paint shit with a gun.
Yay.
It's like a third-person shooter, but where you paint
Yeah,
instead of
it's
shooting.
cool.
Yeah, it's a very inventive concept, especially because you can turn into a squid and swim through the squid, and you're squiddy.
Swim through the squid. Okay, I gotta turn the fucking sensitivity of this back down. The game isn't like precise enough. Of this,
Yeah,
like,
the precision is not a precise game at all. It's more of like a
I can't
aim in the
menus
general direction of.
All right, well I have to beat this
editing.
level for me to change
Yeah,
settings.
there's a lot of like very Nintendo weird things about this game.
Very
where-
like the studio that made this has probably never made a shooting game, and probably did not do a lot of research on shooting games to determine like the standards.
Right. Well, that's just a general Nintendo thing.
Yes,
Like,
they want to do their own thing.
They will put in some options, but in weird ways
or
on
they'll
weird terms.
they'll misinterpret what the point of some of these things are.
Right. It's odd. It's odd. It's got a lot of issues that are very Nintendo game issues.
And lots of missing content, which Donson actually told me
is a lot of it's on the disc.
Yeah, the content is on the disc, but it's all locked.
Right.
So it's like they just have all this locked content on the game just so they can release it over a period of time, which does encourage like a longer span of playtime. I cannot fucking
Right,
think
but they
while I'm
started
playing
off
this.
with like nothing.
Yeah, but it's like there's
available.
fucking nothing in the game. It's like, what is this?
It took me like 5 minutes to figure out what the fuck I was supposed to do against this guy.
Oh, you throw a grenade.
Oh, I didn't even figure that out. I straight up kept going side to side, swimming through the goop and catching him like off guard for a brief second and shooting him.
You have to like distract him with the grenade and shoot him in the back. Yeah.
Well.
I got
Now I know.
my brain. I thought this game would be really easy to play and talk, but clearly any game is hard to play and talk.
Dude, there's no.
I was like, oh, this will be the easiest fucking game for me to like just breeze through while talking.
There is no game that you
I really
can
need
play
to turn
and
on the
talk at the
sensitivity.
same
That'll
time.
definitely help.
I wanted to talk about how it was funny to me. There's So some of you guys probably are aware of this guy, and generally we all are.
Oh, is that
our
the
commenter,
comment guy?
Called Gilgamesh, who commented on a lot of the Dark Souls playthroughs.
He commented on every single video.
Did he? On
Yes,
all of them?
on every single video.
Well, he commented on like every Dark Souls video, and it was funny because that's the only thing he watched on Digi Bros. And he watched it because he said that in the beginning we were making such great points, like analytical points about the game, that's why he watched it. And then like as it went along, it was just kind of like he was just watching it just because he was already watching it.
He likes to watch train wrecks.
No, he bitched
He
about
was.
it
I know
the
he
whole
was
time.
consistently disappointed the entire time we played the game.
But he kept bitching about the way Victor was playing, and it was like I kept saying, like we were saying in the show, like the point of this isn't to play well, it's that we're talking and playing, and it's impossible.
Yeah,
anyone who's done it can tell you that it's not easy.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of Let's Plays. No Let's Player has ever said that they could talk and play at the same time.
Unless that's their thing, like, that they're like pro tier at the game.
Well, because the guys who are like the streamers and stuff who do that, they just don't talk about anything interesting.
Yeah.
They just
or
stream
they just
of conscious.
don't talk.
They
Yeah,
just
they
go,
just
whoa,
narrate what they're
oh
doing.
man, that guy got me. Okay, I'm just. Oh,
Yeah, and there's no second person there with them, like having conversation. They're just like saying what's on the top of their head.
Having an actual conversation and playing a video game is hard because they're both things that require your full attention, you know, to do well.
Decent at conversation.
I mean, you can't hold a conversation and text on your phone at the same time, so I doubt you could fucking do a
Dude, I can't
a video game at the same time.
Was that you I was talking to on the phone in the car? I couldn't tell whose fucking voice it was.
Yeah, it was me.
Because like they called me in the fucking car to ask about dinner, and I was just like, oh no! Like, don't call me in the car. Like, I can't talk and drive. Like, it's really hard for me to focus.
Yeah.
And it freaked me out for a second. I was just like, what?
But yeah, but the reason I wanted to bring it up is not because of that, because we've had that argument before. It's that I've and I think I've talked about this as well, that like one of the interesting things to me about the Let's Play series that we've been doing is how every series has like a different character to it, where like Sonic was all us bitching about Sonic. Like, the whole time was just us bitching about Sonic. And when we did talk about topics, it was always totally random. Like, talking about breakfast foods or, like, some weird, obscure topic that we would come up with. And then, like, with Kirby, it was...
It feels like we've come a long way since Sonic.
Yeah, with Kirby, we'd talk about, like, whatever came to mind, basically, and talk about how much you suck at the game and stuff.
And how hot it was.
With
definitely helps that it's not hot in this room anymore.
Yeah,
and that has made things
lot.
much better.
The Zelda playthrough, we would either talk about the game itself or about whatever was going on in your everyday life, and like, so we got used to that. But then like, we had like another series that was running at the same time where we were recording Dark Souls at the same time.
Yeah.
And so with Dark Souls, when we first started it, because we were playing Zelda at the same time, we were talking about all the everyday stuff in Zelda, and then we would, like, when we played Dark Souls, all we could think to talk about was Dark Souls. Like, we just kept analyzing the game and talking about shit. So, you gotta remember that the first, like, 10 or so episodes of Dark Souls were filmed, like, way early into Zelda coming out.
True.
Like, we originally were doing them side by side, and they were gonna be released side by side, but I didn't end up doing it that way. So that's the reason why we analyzed Dark Souls so much at the beginning. And then as soon as Zelda was done, it was like, oh, well, now we can talk about our everyday lives in Dark Souls, because that was the only series we were running, because Victor got too busy to do 2 at a time. So yeah, that's basically why that happened. But I thought it was funny because that guy hadn't seen our other videos, so he didn't know that that's typically what Digi Bros was at the time. Was us talking about our everyday lives. It was not an analytical show for the most part. Like, there's a moment in I remember in Ocarina of Time where it's like episode 12 is the first time I actually say anything analytical about the game. Like, when you pick up the
We're
Master
like,
Sword.
wow, we thought we'd be saying more like analytical shit about it.
Yeah. And then
so we analyze fucking Sonic, but it's all just bitching about it.
Right,
Like,
exactly. We analyzed all the
bitchy
things
analysis.
As for this game, I've only played this level, the one that you're playing right now. I played just this
I enjoy
level.
the story mode probably more than the online mode, because the online mode is just like, there's only so much to do. There's only one fucking game type. I don't know if they've updated it since the last time I played, but like...
It's funny you say that, because every other review I've seen has said the opposite. They've all said that the online is like a great time, and it's
but it's
fun.
a great time for like a few hours, and then it's just like, alright, well, I've experienced
this.
this.
The single player mode gets really repetitive, and it's very linear. It's all like, I'm on a path.
I mean, but it's like, what the fuck do you want? Like, it's fun, it's creative.
I guess.
It's like, what the fuck were you expecting from the single player in a shooting game about like ink splats.
Well, that's
it's
what
better
I'm
than like
saying,
running
like-
into a room and shooting a bunch of dudes. Like at least you have to like do platforming obstacles and things like that. And kind of
it's
stuff
alright.
like it feels satisfying. Like it's very easy, very satisfying.
It reminds me of Battalion Wars a lot.
How the fuck does this remind you of Battalion Wars?
Well, didn't that game also have like really linear levels like this?
No, it was a strategy game.
But it was like,
It was a fucking tactics game, Conrad.
what game am I thinking of then?
I have no idea. Battalion Wars was like an RTS.
But wasn't it also like a like this where like you had
You
control
were a
of a character
third-person
and
guy.
It was like a third person shooter and
Yeah.
usually you would be like moving up a level kind of.
No.
I
I mean, to an extent, maybe. Like, maybe some of the maps you played were linear, but
didn't
like
play
I
it.
beat
I
that.
only watched you play.
There you go. You didn't understand what was going on.
I mean, I knew it was like a tactics game, but I just like
Yes.
I'm thinking like all I remember about this game is visuals from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So like I'm like the
I would
image
love
in
to
my
play the
head.
GameCube one again. I didn't like the Wii one.
The image I have in my head of it is similar to this game.
I remember that being a really nice game.
Yeah. But yeah, this is Splatoon and it's cute. I know
It
that
has a
much.
similar aesthetic.
As soon
in
as
terms
they
of character
announced this
designs.
game, I was excited for it for the aesthetic alone. Like,
I think that's what most people were most excited about.
right.
It's like, oh my god, like a cute shooting game with
Right.
colors everywhere. Awesome.
Well, because I like third-person shooters in general.
Yeah.
And as soon as but see, the stuff that that pisses me off about this game though, because like I was saying, there's like a weird thing when it comes to options in this game, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, you can't play You can't play story mode with any other gun than this one.
Yeah.
You have to play with the standard paint
Which,
shooter.
I mean, it wouldn't work with most
Right,
of the other
but this
guns,
is, like,
but it's like, yeah,
not
this
the
is the
most
most
exciting
boring
gun.
gun. Exactly.
like when I was watching you guys play,
But
and
then that's a weird thing about online for me, is that the paint roller is like the most fun gun,
Right,
and the other
by
ones are just
far.
fucking boring, and it's like, well, why
like
would
as soon
I
as
use the other
I
ones?
as soon as I saw you guys play
There's
the
only
paint
3
roller,
guns.
I
I'm
was
pretty sure
like,
they advertise like 5 guns. Like, they don't have the paintbrush. Like, what the fuck is with that? There's supposed to be a paintbrush.
I don't know. All I know is I haven't gotten to play online yet because I can't get, or I couldn't at the time that I played this, get a good enough internet connection in my room. And if you don't have an internet connection, you can't even go into the stores to like change your clothes and shit.
Wow, really?
You can't even enter the stores.
I had no idea
like,
about that.
If I was like when I was online, I could only do the mission, like story mode, or
This guy is killing
or
me.
just dick around in the town. It took me a while to figure out how to get to story mode because I didn't realize that there's a map on your handheld thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
so you have
didn't
to go
see
into
that
the
there was a
sewer.
map,
Oh,
so
I'm supposed to use this thing.
I was
that's
just
right.
walking around town like,
dipshit.
what the fuck am I looking for here? Like, I was so confused.
Boom, bitch!
And,
And I still can't kill this fucking guy even with this. At least I
Guess
can
that means you
splat.
just gotta
I can
haul
fucking
ass.
splat!
yeah. So yeah, it's weird. Like, it's the kind of game that, like, has a lot of good points and I want to love it, but then it's also got all that stuff that's kind of
Yeah,
like,
just weird.
why
like,
did you do this, you know?
you know, hopefully they fix another sequel or something kind of stuff.
Or
But I
just
can't
fix
imagine
it
like
in
a
the long
Splatoon 2. Like,
Well, because the point of
why
this
would
game
you
is to
get
be a
a
game
second one?
that's going to be updated for a while.
Yeah.
Like, Nintendo clearly made this with the intentions of they looked at, like, all the games that are coming out that
It's
are,
clearly,
like,
you know, DLC
continually-
focused, you know,
Yeah.
microtransactions will probably come into play.
Right, but then they did it in such a weird ass backwards
Yes.
way.
Which is, you know, it's an experiment, I think, to an extent.
So, I don't know, but this is what story mode's like, and Victor
Yeah.
seems to dig it. And we wanted to play this game partly because you and Boyd went half and half on this.
Yeah.
Like, how long ago? Like a month ago?
Yeah.
And have barely had a
Barely
chance to
played
play
it,
it because
yeah.
of school, and because all the time that you had to play video games, we played Dark Souls.
And because you guys took the Wii U to play,
yeah, to play
Earthbound, and I was
Earthbound.
just like, I don't feel like
Victor's
going
too
to get it,
lazy to
but they
keep
doing-
getting the Wii U, so so we've had it up here, and
I'm lazy, I'm tired.
and we also had planned from like a month ago that we would play
Yeah.
Splatoon on this show as
So
soon
I
as
was
we beat
kinda
Dark
waiting
Souls.
for
It
us
just
to
took
do that.
forever to beat Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Victor's been very busy, hence why there was no new episode of the show yesterday.
So busy.
Because we straight up had not started playing this yet. So, yeah. Now we're on Splatoon.
Yeah, I like these things. Yeah.
And,
This is the game.
yeah. So, and we also, because this game is more simplistic, we don't have to do 20-minute episodes.
Hey!
So next time on Digi Bros,
Splatoon!
we'll be back.
Swag.